Hi friends, it's Aubrey. Today I am doing a pantry clean out challenge for my family for dinner this week. If you're interested to see what we ate, keep watching. Tonight's dinner, we are going to have some teriyaki meatballs. These are one of my family's absolute favorite and easy dinner recipes. I'll link the recipe down below for you, but you'll need about 2 dozen frozen pre-cooked meatballs, a half cup of soy sauce, a half cup of pineapple juice, a third cup of beef broth, a third cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of honey, 1 or 2 minced garlic cloves, about a fourth teaspoon of ground ginger. You can also use just like a teaspoon of fresh ginger that's finely minced or from the squeezy tube. And then if you like it spicy, you can add about a fourth teaspoon of red pepper flakes. You can leave that out if you want. And then a teaspoon of sesame oil and a tablespoon of cornstarch. You'll stir the sauce and the meatballs together, put it in your Instant Pot on manual pressure for 3 minutes. And then once the steam has released, you can go ahead and open up the lid and turn your Instant Pot on saute. That way you can get the sauce to thicken up completely. Once it is as thick as you like it, you can go ahead and serve this with some rice and one of your favorite veggies. And this dinner is so delicious. I love to bring this to people when they just had a baby or if they're just needing something quick and easy. This is a recipe I always point them to. For this next dinner, we decided to make some homemade KFC chicken bowls. We had some leftover mashed potatoes that needed to get used, and that was kind of the inspiration for this. We also had some bacon fat in the fridge, which is what we used to make our roux to make a homemade gravy. And we really just eyeballed this. If you need a good roux recipe, I'll link one down below. After we made the roux, we slowly added in some milk to get it to a nice gravy consistency, and then we added some salt and pepper just to taste until it tasted right. And once the gravy was done, we went ahead and cooked our corn, heated up our potatoes, cooked our chicken nuggets in the air fryer, and then we got to assembling the bowl. This was so good. I think we'll be making this again in the future. We don't have mashed potatoes left over that often, but when we do, this is a great use for them. What other toppings would you guys put on your KFC bowl? I'd definitely love to hear from you in the comments down below. And here is a super cute clip of our dog Madsen, who was definitely wanting in on the chicken bowls. You're a cute boy. Yeah, you're a cute boy. Oh, so sweet. We were having some friends over to play board games this evening, and so we wanted to have a little treat to snack on while we were playing some games. If you have any board game recommendations for me, let me know down in the comments below. I love talking about board games, so if there are any other board game lovers out there, definitely let me know. But for these cookies, they are a 4-ingredient cookie. It's a cake mix, 2 eggs, a stick of butter, and some chocolate chips. You just melt the butter and then dump everything into a mixer. You can use a hand mixer. You can stir it with a spoon as well. I found it to be easiest to put it into my KitchenAid and got this all mixed together. Once the dough was mixed together, I slowly added in about a fourth cup of chocolate chips just to give some additional texture and some more chocolate because who doesn't love chocolate? Put that in, just stirred it around quickly a few times just to make sure that the chocolate was fully incorporated. And then I scooped everything onto a baking tray. I used some ungreased parchment paper and didn't seem to stick at all. So that is the recommended way, at least to make these type of cookies, in my opinion. And then you bake them at a 350-degree oven for about 10 minutes. And then you can pull them out, put them onto a tray to cool down, and these are so gooey. I highly recommend them. If you have any cake box cookie recipes or ideas that I should try, definitely let me know. For this next dinner, we are going to have a sausage and veggie bake using some sausage that was in my freezer. I also had some veggie stragglers that we decided to throw in this as well. Now that everything is all chopped, we're going to go ahead and put it in our 9x13 pan and put some oil on it and season all the veggies and the sausage. I used about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You kind of have to just eyeball it depending on how much you chop. And then I sprinkled this with some seasonings. So we used Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, and paprika. Really just eyeballed it, and then if it needs more salt, we'll just go ahead and do that at the table. But let's stir this up, and then we'll cover it and put it in the oven. I just stirred everything. I'm gonna cover this, and I probably will stir a few times just to make sure everything gets well cooked while it's in the oven. So I preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and I'll probably cook this for about 25 minutes covered, and then we'll do about another 5 to 10 minutes uncovered depending on how crispy you like yours. Here is what it looked like when it was all done. You can serve this with some crusty bread. My husband also topped his with some feta cheese, and it was so good. So definitely try that out next time you make this. We are making a pesto chicken in the crock pot today for dinner, and I will have the recipe linked down below for you. Let me show you how we're gonna make it. So I added my chicken to the crock pot. You can use breasts. We're using thighs, and I just put 3 good-sized ones in there. The next thing I added was a medium onion, finely diced. You can definitely roughly chop yours if you prefer that, but that is what we'll add next. Next, I added in a 1/2 cup of chicken broth that you just used a broth-based powder and some water. I'm gonna add in 1 packet of Italian salad dressing mix, and then we'll give this a quick stir and we'll put it on low for about 4 hours. Just gonna make sure everything gets coated. That is looking good, and we'll put our lid on, turn it to low for about 3 to 4 hours. I took some liberties with the recipe that I was following. They wanted me to dump the whole jar of pesto in, and I just felt like that was way too much, so I added about 2 tablespoons of pesto instead of 6 ounces. I added in a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. You can definitely use the freshly grated kind. I just had the shaky kind available to me, so that's what I used. And then I also used about 6 ounces of cream cheese. You can definitely do the full 8-ounce block of cream cheese. I just only had 6 ounces available to me. I also added in some black pepper and then put the lid on this while my noodles were cooking just to make sure that the cheese and cream cheese would melt. I used my handy dandy dinosaur pasta spoon. He is linked down below if you are interested in getting one for yourself. And I also had some garlic bread in the freezer that we needed to use, so we cooked that up and served this with some green beans. I will be making this again. New favorite pesto chicken recipe for sure. This next dinner that we had was pasta carbonara. Bacon has been on sale almost once a month in my area, so we tend to have a lot of bacon in the house now, which is normally not the case, but we've been making pasta carbonara quite often because we typically have the other ingredients on hand as well. And I have shown this one on my channel before. I'll be sure to have the recipe that I used linked down below. It's a very simple recipe, and this dinner comes together in about 15 to 20 minutes, just depending on how long it takes for your water to boil and your pasta to cook. We like using rotini pasta when we make this, but you can definitely use spaghetti or angel hair or linguine or any other type of pasta that your family prefers. This one always is a huge hit, and it does make really good leftovers as well. If you haven't made a pasta carbonara recipe before, I highly recommend it. And if you like adding peas or broccoli or other veggies to it, you definitely can. It's a very versatile and easy to learn how to make recipe. And here is the completed dish. So delicious. Here is another one of our family favorites that we have quite often, especially in the pantry cooking weeks, because we typically always have these ingredients on hand, and then we can throw whatever veggie we have available to us as a side dish for this. It is a recipe from damndelicious.net, so I'll go ahead and have that link down below for you. Highly recommend this one. It's another super simple and very quick dinner. Comes together in as much time as it takes to cook your rice. I really like to double the sauce because we like ours to be a little bit saucier, especially if you're going to add some broccoli or another veggie in there, just to make sure that sauce gets over everything. And it is so amazing. You have to try this one out.
That's all I have for you guys today. If you did enjoy, please give this video a like and leave me a comment down below on some of your pantry meals that you make quite often with your family. I would love to try them out. And I hope you have the best rest of your day. Bye!